Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't anticipate this being a super long video, but every time I say that, it ends up being a long video. I've mentioned doing this quite a few times in the past, and I feel like every time I mention it, there are quite a few comments saying, yes, please do that video, please do that video. So, this is going to be my top 5 favorite face masks. I had somebody email me, or I guess I should say direct message me on Instagram, asking if I was going to do my top 5 series over again. And I had been thinking about it because it's been, I want to say it's been like a year and a half since I redid my top 5. So I did it for the first time like maybe 2.5 years ago. I redid it because obviously, you know, my tastes change, I buy new things, I fall in love with them more than I fell in love with what I talked about before, and you know, my lists change. So I redid that, and that was a year and a half ago. So if you want me to redo those, meaning like my top 5 foundations, my top 5 concealers, blushes, bronzers, highlighters, all that, let me know, and I definitely will. But I have never done this one. So this is going to be my top 5 face masks. So this is more skincare related. And I do have an honorable mention because it's one that I just started using like a week ago. So I can't say, oh my goodness, yes, it's like for sure in my top 5. But I can say that I really like it. So I'm going to save that for the last. And because these serve such different purposes depending on what I need for my skin, I'm not even going to save like the best for last. Because depending on what I'm wanting, whether I want like pore cleansing or hydration or a chemical exfoliation in my mask, will depend on what I use. So I can't really say I love one over the other because it just depends on what I'm wanting for my skin at that time. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to start with my favorite pore cleansing mask, and this is the Beautycounter Balancing and Charcoal Facial Mask. I've talked about this a lot on this channel and my other channel. You've probably already know that it's going to be in my favorites. But I love this mask. It smells like peppermint. It is very black, very based in charcoal. I have gone through a smaller version of this. I'm almost out of this full size, and I have another smaller travel size waiting for me. But it just is the best. It's not uncomfortable. I mean, obviously it tightens because it's a charcoal mask, but it's not like, oh my goodness, I can't speak for fear of cracking my whole face off type of mask, because we all know what those feel like. And this is not one of those. It definitely tightens. It definitely cleans. You can see the little outlines of your pores as it is drying down, but it is just the best. If I feel like I have a breakout, I have like one, I don't even know if you can see it, but I had this like under the skin crater happen a couple weeks ago, which never happens to me. But I did a spot treatment with this. So I didn't want to put it over my whole face because I didn't feel like I needed it. So I just put a little bit here and just a little bit over my nose, waited 10 minutes and cleansed it off. So I will use this if I feel like I'm starting to get a little clogged on my pore area, if I have a breakout, or if I just want to detox altogether. This is the one I go for. And I know a lot of y'all will probably ask, I do tend to mask probably 3 to 4 nights a week. There are some weeks where I won't use any of these masks. There are some weeks where I will use one of them all 4 times, and some weeks where I will use all of them. It just depends. This is a mask I've talked about a lot more recently, and it is the Leahlani Mermaid Mask, superfood for your skin. So I use this if I'm feeling really dull, if I want a tad bit of a little bit of a physical exfoliation, because it does have a little bit of that. It's super, super green. Leahlani is an organic, clean brand. It is so good. It smells good. It smells good, and you know it's not any like added synthetic fragrance. But when I just feel like my skin is looking a little sallow, a little dull, needs a little pick-me-up, that's when I will use this. Now, I don't have the box anymore, so I can't remember exactly what the instructions are, but how I use it and how I found it works best for me is I take a spatula and I scoop some out, and I make sure my skin is a little damp, just a little bit, not dripping with water, but a little bit. And then my fingers are a little damp. I'll scoop it on my fingers, rub it, and then apply it all over my face. And I will rub for like a minute or so, because it does have that tiny bit of physical exfoliation, and then I will let it sit for 10 minutes. It doesn't harden, it doesn't dry up, it just is superfood for your skin. So love that Leahlani Mermaid Mask. Let me talk about my top 2 favorites for hydration. This one is actually, I had to pull it out of my empties, and it is also from Leahlani, and it's the Meli Glow Illuminating Nectar Mask. So this one is another, I mean, this one smells divine, but it doesn't, I kind of apply it the same way, but it doesn't do the same thing. This one is, like, I'm at the very, very bottom. This one is more of a hydration mask for me, and it does leave that really nice glow. So I will even use this before makeup. Like if I have an event to go to, or if I don't know, just want an extra boost, I will use this before I do my skincare for the day in the morning time. And then a lot of times I will use it at night too, because it's just a very intense hydrating mask that again gives you a little bit of a glow afterwards. Smells good, the experience is good. Just really like that one. This one is one that I can't believe I have never bought a full size of, but I've gone through so many sample sizes that I feel like I can honestly say it's in my favorites. And it's the Farmacy Honey Potion Renewing Antioxidant Hydration Mask with Echinacea, Green Envy, Honey. So this is the little deluxe sample. It's the one I haven't started using yet. I've gone through probably 4 of these. I've talked about this before. It's probably, I think it's made it in some of my favorites. It's made it in a Sephora like recommendations video. I love this. It is a very thick mask. So again, I like to make sure my skin is just a tad damp, because when I go in with really thick masks on dry skin, I feel like I pull too much. So even if the instructions don't call for it, I still want it to be just a little bit damp. And this one you do rub in for a few minutes and it really warms up. So it is a warming mask and it stays warm throughout the time it's on your face. So don't be alarmed thinking, oh my goodness, it's burning my face off. It's supposed to feel that way. It's not going to burn your face off. It's so nice. It is super hydrating, super hydrating. So this is probably my favorite for all around hydration, but it's also, I don't know, there's something about the warming effect that just feels like it's detoxing my skin as well. And Farmacy is also a cleaner brand, so you don't have to worry about any, gross stuff on your skin. Now, the next mask I don't have, but I have gone through 2 full sizes, so you can rest assured I know that it's in my favorites. The reason I don't have it with me is because this is a chemical exfoliation type of mask. And right now, I just tend to want to get that more for my serums and my toners versus a mask, and I don't feel like I reach for that as much. So I haven't repurchased it yet, but I will. And it is my favorite of all of the kind of AHA type masks, and it's the Herbivore, I think it's called Blue Tansy. I'll put a picture and put it down here. Love this mask. Some people have complained about not liking the smell. I don't mind the smell. I actually kind of like it, and my skin loves Blue Tansy. It loves the May Lindstrom Blue Cocoon, which has it in it. It loved the Luna oil when I used to use that way back when, which has it in it. It just really likes that ingredient, so I figured that it would like this mask, and it does. It is a tingly type of mask. Why do I keep saying in plural? It is a tingly type of mask. It's a chemical exfoliant, so you will feel a little bit of a tingle. That is okay. It just means it's doing its job. If you don't feel a tingle, it's still doing its job. We all react differently to chemical exfoliants, so just keep that in mind. I find that this works wonderful for truly exfoliating my skin. Like, I feel like I look like I have a new layer of skin when I get done using this mask. Another mask that I will say I like is the Juice Beauty Green Apple Enzyme Mask, I think it's called, because of the exfoliation properties. So it also tingles. It also kind of did the same thing for me. It doesn't have the Blue Tansy like the Herbivore does, but it's also one that I would recommend if you're wanting an exfoliating mask. That was a really hard one for me to get through talking wise. Sorry about that. But that is definitely one of my favorites for AHAs. And so finally, I'm going to get to the honorable mention. This is the one that I just started using last week, so I can't speak for sure, but I do love it. And it's the Algenist Alive Prebiotic Balancing Mask. So first of all, I love this packaging, this pink top, and this I thought was a kind of green container, but it's actually the mask that is that turquoise color, and it's just a frosted glass. One of the reasons I love this so much right off the bat is because it doesn't have any added fragrance in it, which a lot of Algenist products do have. So I loved that. It made me feel better. I also have been using the Prebiotic moisturizer, the SPF 15, which is a pure mineral SPF. Also love. So thank you, Algenist, for cleaning that up a little bit. I have been loving this. They sent both of these to me, but I just want you to see this. It's the prettiest color mask I have ever used in my entire life. Look at that like seafoam, green, turquoisey goodness. But this is the really fun part about this. So it's almost like a moussey clay. It does have clay in it, but when you put it on your skin, so it's that really pretty green color, they tell you to rub it in until it changes colors. Do you see that? Look at that pretty pink color. Oh my goodness. The colors alone are so fabulous, but that's not why I love it. So you rub it in until you get this color all over your face, and then you leave it on for 3 to 5 minutes. That's one reason I love it. It's one of the fastest acting masks of all the ones that I've talked about. So if I'm in a hurry, don't really have time, I want a pick-me-up for my skin, but I really just want to go to bed, I will use this and I'll put it on, and then I'll brush my teeth and floss and do all that while I have it on. And by the time I'm done with all that, I can wash it off. So it's one of those like wham bam thank you ma'am, for lack of a better phrase, type of masks. So I love that, and I really do feel like it is a great combination of balancing, nourishing, and detoxifying, because it does have a clay in it. It does detoxify your pores, but it also does balance. Like I just feel like my skin just looks more like my skin once I use this. So I have used it about 3 times. I had to talk about this because not only do I love the color and the whole like, you know, formulation of it and the whole experience of it, but I do feel like it's worth checking out as well. So if you want to pick that up during the Sephora sale or want to go in and get a sample of it, I do highly recommend it. So hopefully that was helpful in some way. These are my tried and true top favorite masks. They're ones that I repurchase, run out of, repurchase again. So I can tell you with 100% certainty that they are wonderful for my skin and will likely be wonderful for yours. So if you have any questions, be sure and leave it down in the comment section below, as well as telling me your favorite face mask of all time. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.